The 80th anniversary of Thomas and Friends is on May 12th, and for this video, I just wanted to talk about how Thomas and Friends has impacted me for the better and helped me discover myself. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's just get right into this. So, I was born in May of 2006. I grew up with Thomas from a young age, naturally. I can't remember what my first episode was, but it was my first VHS tapes were Sing Along and Stories, Thomas's Friends Help Out, and Best of Gordon. My childhood copies of Sing Along and Stories and Best of Gordon are long gone now, but I still have my childhood copy of Friends Help Out. When I moved back into Baltimore in May of 2012, I started, digging out some of my old Thomas Wooden Railway toys, or my mom dug them out, and I also had a ton of take-alongs. I also remember renting the Engine Friends DVD from a library and loving that thing to bits and acting out the stories. And over time, I just casually got back into it. Even before this, me and my brother had fun just watching random Thomas videos on YouTube. I still remember one of our favorites was Miss Oliver and Blossom. We quoted his shit on the daily. Quick, play the same sound effect to convey he's struggling with only 2 coaches. Upside down mouth Photoshop awesomeness. If anything, it's like a badly written sci-fi movie. Like, he was my thing. And for the longest time, Thomas was just a simple comfort show for me. Until 2013, I got an autoimmune disease I don't want to talk about very much, but Thomas became even more of a comfort around that time. I still remember getting the Thomas and the Jet Engine DVD, and during one of my infusions, having a little portable DVD player, getting the infusion finished, and my mom rolling me out in a wheelchair while I watched the Jet Engine DVD on the player, and it was a simple joy of me just going through the seemingly endless character cube. Happy memories, man. Well, not really happy memories, but watching the DVD was the sweet part. So, and honestly, having my autoimmune disease, while James was my favorite character, I always loved Henry. I thought to myself, well, Henry didn't quit when he dealt with being a failed engine, so why should I? And on around my 15th birthday in May of 2021, or it was very late April, I grew to appreciate Henry and decided, I like him. He's my favorite character now. And I saw him as an inspiration. His calm and relaxed nature, the fact he never gives up and always comes out on top. He was a role model for me, as I said before. As for the online fandom with Thomas, as I said, I've been watching Thomas videos forever. And throughout, 2018 to 2022, I always thought about creating Thomas YouTube content. But I couldn't think of anything to make videos about with Thomas. Like, what would I do? I did film a couple of unboxings back in the day that if I can find the videos on my phone, then I'll certainly release them. But late 2022, I wanted to, make this a satirical channel. Just do YouTube poops like the real Xbox nerd. But I decided, while I would do some of them in the future, and some of the ideas I might dig out, I really liked looking at random BS on Reddit, like people driving recklessly, car crashes. I thought, well, Wilbert Awdry based his stories on real-life railway incidents, so why don't I base my stories on random things I see on Reddit? Each new thing I find can be like a different plot device for a story. And thus created the Henry NWR 1911 channel and Thomas the Tank Cannon and Idiots. I forgot to mention my experience with the Railway series. I remember my mom finding the Thomas the Tank Engine, the complete collection book in a Goodwill for me years ago, and she showed it to me, and I was like, yes, let's get it. And it was my thing. Although my childhood copy, like the cover, fell off years ago, I still have the book itself, and I got a new copy, as you can see in the background. And one of the most special things about being in the Thomas fandom is that it's a creative outlet for me and a good social network. One of my best friends in the community is Ripoff Productions. We met back in the days when the people who run the Kaiki store were being assholes, and we bonded over our mutual dislike for them. And one day she offered me a role in her Thomas Friends series, and I instantly took it because I thought, more exposure, that's great. But then I decided, you know what? It's fun to play a character and try on different voices. And over time, to practice for this role, I started doing various impressions of celebrities like Adam Sandler, Chris Rock. Currently, I'm working on an impression of the late great Rip Torn from Men in Black. Hogwarts, what the hell happened? Yeah. This girl right here, Ripoff, she got me into voice acting, so thanks, girl, for helping me discover that part about myself, that I like playing characters. And she even inspired me to take theater arts during my senior year of high school. Like, my teacher was great. I met some of my best friends there, like my buddy who recommended me Dumb and Dumber. And I've also discovered other many wonderful friends. Oliver 11 GWR, Waddling Western. How could I possibly forget Cedric Isle Productions? Go subscribe to this man ASAP. The Renamon Stan, also subscribe to him as well. He's great. They're all friends. Subscribe to all of them. And also, I don't know, man, seeing a bunch of people who in the Thomas fandom won't judge me and I can confide in, it's soothing. People who share the same interests as me. I have some friends in real life who I can talk to. One buddy who, he's pretty chill, and we've never talked about the fact I'm into Thomas. He's just like, that's cool, man. And we also talked about subtleties in writing with the early SpongeBob seasons. But one of my closest friends ever, who actually voices in my Thomas series, is my work manager. I started working at a retirement center dining room in July 2022. And in December 2023, I decided, you know what? I've showed my manager a lot of my shit. Why don't I show her my Thomas channel? And she wanted to know about it. I dubbed my secret channel to everyone in real life outside my family as my secret channel. I've hyped up many of my teachers. Some of them I'll give the clues, but only a select few. I decided to give my manager the clues, but I warned her it was legitimately foul-mouthed and just all over the place, and she actually liked it. And over time, she was interested in what I produce, and I still remember showing her the Flying Westerners, and she's like, wait, who's that? During the scene where Charlie gets hijacked by the guinea pigs. And she didn't know who Charlie was since she hadn't seen the later CGI seasons of Thomas. But yeah, like, at that point I saw my manager as not just a manager, but a friend. She was like this chill aunt who I could tell my secrets to, and she wouldn't tell anyone. I felt comfortable with her. And as I was looking for a voice for one of my OCs, Melissa, I asked my manager if she wanted to do it, and she said sure. And although her performance in episode 41 was a little bit stiff and mechanical, she had the voice and energy I was looking for. In general, she reminds me of Jamie Lee Curtis. She's one of my best friends in general. I know I have a lot of positive things, but to say, but it's true. I love everyone who's helped me get this far, including my family. And also, my manager helped me properly understand one of the worst remakes ever, The Stepford Wives. This lumbering travesty. I'm surprised that Frank Oz and co. didn't add a laugh track in here. But anyways, back to the topic. I would like to sincerely thank my family, my friends, in real life, and everyone in the Thomas community who's helped me get this far. Thank you to the Reverend Wilbert Awdry and Britt Allcroft for providing me my part of my childhood. May you both continue to rest in peace, and happy 80th anniversary to Thomas and Friends.